Here is our chosen product, chosen mostly on the price, a little bit on the design, from Amazon.com. Here in the US, this is a external drive now for the high-speed USB, the USB 4.0 and Thunderbolt. We're going to open up, see what's inside. I've already looked in there. Ain't much to show you on camera, but we'll look. Well, that's what it looks like on the inside. This says that they have the new design that snaps down. I think that'll probably work better if they have real tight tolerances when you try to do the slidey top jobs. Unfortunately, it takes the thermal pad with it, so I prefer the hinge type or something like that. It's just the old engineer in me. It looks like a better way to do things. Now we've got it as unboxed as I can get it. We have some little information on this side that says that it is in fact USB-C to M key, no B key, so it's only going to do, which only makes sense because most of the stuff that's B key is very slow anyway. So it's for NVMe's, and it will do the 40, if I can get it, if it won't come out of focus for me, 40 gigabytes there. Now they do have a double barcoding on here. I don't know what that's about. We have the company information, lots of Chinese stuff down here, and they don't mean anything necessarily to me. Very short stubby cable, almost useless. I did order another one that came in. This was supposed to be here the day after I ordered it, but it was late. They didn't ship it in, so I'm seeing a lot of that with a lot of these Chinese goods these days. They don't show up when they say they will. Paperwork. All right, there we go. Nothing to be excited about. Here's a little strap. I don't know what you need a strap for. You're going to be walking around with this? Yeah, I'm just using it for my off-site backup. When I do, we've got a little piece of metal, which is a heat sink of some sort, because it's got some shiny on the backside. Perhaps we stick this on top of the pad to keep it from wanting to slide on us. I don't really know. We'll have to read the instructions, see how they recommend putting it together. It weighs 5 ounces by itself without the NVMe installed. Well, they get points added and points deducted here. This, as you can see, if I can get it close and I see the little balls on the end, they make little ball catches. I like that better than perhaps some kind of little kind of captured edges or whatever that might break, because this is aluminum or maybe zinc, some kind of a metal. It's not plastic, doesn't feel like plastic. And of course you can see that it is in fact just an M key there. Slot is awfully large, which should help with the dissipation, but where we're going to take some points off, I swear it looked like it had a fan in it, and maybe it does underneath that little edge. See the little slotted edge there? So I think if we get it plugged in and if we don't feel any air moving, we'll be disappointed. Now, some of the complaints on this product was, quite frankly, you don't know if it's the new version or the old version or whatever, but it says it's loud and the fan runs all the time. I do kind of wish that it was smart enough to say, hey, look, if I'm finding that my silicon in there is getting warm, then I come on. Otherwise, it shuts off, saves some bearing life and some I guess some complications in it. It could default to being on unless it saw it was below a certain temperature. But anyway, it is what it is. I think that's the air coming in. We have these little slots on the top, which do blow across the back end of your NVMe, which is where it should be most of your guys, your little NVMe's, they're going to work. Now what I don't see here is an adjustment for multiple sizes, so which is not a big deal. 2280 I guess is pretty well much everybody expects to see its size, and that works there. So it's not going to be bad. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit without getting too much of a finger shadow on it. You see you only got the one hole. So that means it's going to be good for one length. We'll find out if the air does in fact circulate, because I did want one that did that. The old, whatever I got in there, the Western Digital Gold that I'm using for backup, not real fast, but it's certainly fast enough to get 40 gigabytes a second, using kind of that neighborhood instead of the 700 megabytes per second. It kind of goes when it's working, and that's before it finally soaks out and gets hot. Well, we've got her going together. Top, obviously. Here is the bottom, the one that we're taking out. This is just regular USB-C. I guess it's Gen 3, so it's only 10 megabits a second. It's not even a 2-byte. So it's going to be about 10 megabits a second max. We can see it's stuck to its top, and that's pretty common. And that's why I do like these types that kind of go in and drop down versus ones you don't. Now, if I have my piece of thermal pad, I think it's the same size as what we have here. So what I believe I'm going to do, and it may affect performance on this, I'm going to try to peel this off so that we get it to make contact with our board over here. Now we got a little piece of rubber. Go down here. It gave us 3 of these little rubber dudes to hold it into place. It shouldn't take too much to do that, actually, because it's going to be in that slot, but we don't want it to move around, so we're going to put her in there. Now, put my little rubber guys back over, my 2 spares, and of course here is my heat pad. It did peel off well enough without too much distortion, so I think since I'm not going to use this guy anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put it back together. I don't know where my little rubber guy went to. So it probably fell off when I was trying to pry this guy apart. So I'm going to go ahead and use the official one that came with it, the pad that came with it. Now when I look at this, I want you to look at this as well. Look how big the PC board is. Looks like we might have some issues. I don't really know if it's designed so it pushes that we get just a little bit of air come across this way out this hole. Because the intake or exhaust, whichever one it is right here. Maybe they're really trying to get all the heat to come down through the 2 ends, like little ductwork on the bottom of the cooler. But if the holes are here and here, I guess it's going to go like this, underneath it, through the hole, and out here, underneath it, through the hole, which is good for that area that's going to be sitting on top of that chip. Now, if we had a Phison controller down here, something like that, we got some kind of little guy. I don't know what that is. I don't remember if this WD Blue is a controller version. Let's see what it is. 4 terabyte. I don't know. We'll look at SN5000. We'll look that up on the internet. I can't remember what I bought. But as it sits, it could get a little warmer on that side of it than it does where the chip is. I don't remember. Seemed like when I tested these guys originally, they got hotter with, they were with SN770s. They got hotter down here on the connection side than up here where the chip was, which was kind of not what I expected. And now we have our little material here, so it should just go in there and snap in, and it does. It's pretty neat. I like that. So we're going to go try it out. 40 gigabits per second. Hopefully. Now that'll depend on what kind of hardware you have in there, but that's at least what the interface is purported to be good for. Now this is very odd, not seen anything like this, don't know if I like it. Maybe it's good, maybe it's more gooder, as they say, but anyway, we've got the disk drive put in, but it says, if you'll notice it says the aluminum strip goes on top. Say what? Right, so the aluminum strip goes on top and the silicone thermal pad goes on the bottom. So we're going to have to do it like this. We've got it already pre-stuck to the aluminum, figuring it's straight, and we will go ahead and lay it on top of the drive and put it on. Now that I guess that's to have a minimum amount of aluminum contact guaranteed. What is the reason? Is it just too short? Maybe they need another thermal pad or a different thickness of thermal pad. Don't know. We'll put it on and we'll snap it together. And there we have it. We're going to snap it together. But if you notice, we got a little cavity cut out right there. And it does look like it's been machined out. If you can see the milling, the traces of the milling. So it was, I don't know if this was cut entirely or that was relief cut so that they could put that piece of aluminum. I don't know what that's for. Since this is second generation, I assume it's for the better that it does this. Focus, camera, focus. There you go. Don't you like the way things obey my voice? Let's see if I can show this and keep it in focus. See how we can see our chips? They planned well as far as that goes, I guess. We got it against that white right there, but you can see if there's air flowing through there, it should, if nothing else, work better? Question mark? Interrogative? Well, there's the plan. With the air conditioner running, I cannot hear the fan going, so I don't know what people were complaining about it being noisy. Maybe they got a bad one. But there we are. There's the beast. This should serve to do their backup for a while, till I at least have to get an 8 terabyte, I guess it is. As the beast reboots, let's look at that awesome studio grade quality cell phone video we're taking here. Look at that. So there's either the in or the outs and the in or the outs, depending on which one is which. I don't really know.